Hi everyone, welcome to this Rookie Division General playthrough for the Summer Major 2023 on the newly reworked Porthello Cove. Please hit the thumbs up button on the video and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done so already. Totally free to do so. As always on the channel, all of the rookie content here is using true rookie clubs, and we're going to look at each hole in turn and go through some potential shots that you might want to use. Bear in mind these are general wind conditions. We won't know the exact wind angles until the tournament begins. Timestamps in the video description down below, and lots of other useful content, including tutorials on the Academy playlist and also on the channel homepage. Here we go. Two options on hole number one. I'm going to show you the right hand side, but of course you can play left hand side as well and then play with the Guardian or go for an aggressive rough bump. But on the right hand side, playing with 4.5 top spin and 2 left spin, I would recommend you play with a power 3 ball, unless having a load of tailwind where you may be able to drop to a power 2, because you don't want to be using overpower on the drive. We're aiming with the bullseye in the middle of the fairway between the rough on either side, adjusting max plus 10, and then we're going to take our shot. The left hand may be slightly easier playing down the left hand side in headwind because you've got more clearance from the rough, but this is just one option, of course. You've got to weigh up which route you want to take according to your clubs and wind direction. Second shot, you've got two alternatives. You can bounce over with your long iron on this newly reworked patch of fairway, or you can play directly near the green. If you're playing directly near the green, then I would suggest you use the Guardian with a load of backspin so you can get the ball to stop in time. With the long iron though, it's going to be around 1 bar of top spin and 2 left spin, and we're aiming with the second bounce just beyond the rough before the green and adjusting maximum distance with 10% over adjustment. So 10% elevation, because this one, like the drive, plays a little bit downhill. Perfect ball away, and this bounces on the platform very nicely over the rough and rolls onto the green, and you can have a very, very simple putt for your birdie on this par 4. Here, I would recommend you always play with a side spin 3 ball, so either a katana or a kingmaker. And we're going to use our long iron, going with 3 top spin and 3 right spin. And I'm giving myself a bit of room away from the rough with my first bounce, aiming here at +2 with the backbone level 8. But you don't need to have the backbone level 8. You can play with other long irons and definitely lower level backbone as well, or of course other clubs. Maximum distance with 10% elevation, even with a side spin 3 ball, you're going to need a little bit of right curl, even more so in wind angles that play from right to left. So here I'm going with outer wall curl to the right, bouncing over very safely, nice smooth green, and actually we get this one in for a hole in one. Max plus 10. The right side offers the best attempt for the albatross here, and once again you're going to need a side spin 3 ball. Don't go too giddy with the top spin though here, otherwise you will roll long into the rough, especially with a great right. So I'm going with 3.5 top spin, 3 left spin, and aiming at the top of +5 with my extra mile 5 or 6. Yellow ring touching the rough with extra mile level 6. You can of course use different clubs. You need to make sure you have at least 30 or 35% curl on your club. So check your club level, make sure you've got enough curl, because you can see here I'm playing with max left curl with my level of extra miles. That's about 2/3 of the ball outside to the left. Hitting perfect, the adjustment was max +0, and we're rolling along the second piece of fairway very nicely. Second shot, if you've not gone too far with the drive, is going to be with the wood club. And here I'm playing with a little bit of backspin, and I'm aiming deliberately to the left of the pin. That's because the green slopes from the left down to the right, so you need to offset to the left here to cope with the slope on the green. We're at mid distance of the wood club here, so I'm playing this one medium numbers, so mid +20. Mid +20% elevation, especially in this crosswind. You're going to have a lot of wind effect on the second bounce. Just need to tweak the aim a little bit here, and it will vary depending on the wind angle, of course. More tailwind and you'll want more backspin, but a nice smooth green now, and we're just missing this on the left hand side, but the right hand route is the way to go for the albatross. In any good wind angle we want to bounce over the stream here, so we're going to go with 4.5 top spin and 2 left spin, and we're going to play with the extra mile. If you've got headwind, You may need to play with overpower. If you don't want to do that, then lay up before the end of this first fairway and then pack a wood club with backspin like the Guardian. Max plus 10, power 3, and we're going without a wall curl to the left and hitting perfect. I like the left hand side now. There's a little bit more fairway and we're not going to get stuck in the rough like we might have done if we were playing out to the right, and that would have needed a whole load more topspin. So we're finding the fairway at 345 yards. Second shot, if you get a longer drive, you'll be playing this with the Thorn for your short iron with a load of backspin, so make sure you pack the Thorn. But if you're in long iron range here, you want the Saturn really. You want to have something that gives you a good amount of backspin. So I'm putting all the backspin on here, and then I'm bouncing on that upslope, which is going to give me a very high second bounce, but it is going to mean the ball's going to stop on the green. Medium distance, 0 elevation. As you can see, this is a very flat shot. In fact, it's slightly uphill, to be honest, but 0 elevation working nicely, and we're just parking the ball right by the hole for an easy putt. Two routes here. You could play the central route, as I'm showing you here, and then bounce over the bunker to the green, but for the best albatross, you want to play out to the right with a side spin 3 ball. So we're going with a good amount of topspin and always 3 bars of side spin to the right. So you're looking at a katana or a kingmaker really, with the yellow ring touching the rough with the extra mile. Maximum distance, 0 elevation. You can also play with a driver with more topspin. If you've got the big topper, you could give that a go, but you might need a higher power ball and you will need to hit perfect due to poor accuracy. Going with a little bit of right curl here. If you've got wind going from right to left, you will need more curl to compensate, but we're finding the fairway very safely and very nicely. Max 0 was the adjustment. Second shot is also going to be played with no elevation, and I'm here using just before 1 bar of backspin and 3 bars of left spin, so that I don't need to aim ridiculously close to the bunker. As I'm at max distance of the club, I'm playing this one max numbers, 0 elevation. Obviously, if you've got the sniper instead of the Viper with better ball guide, then I'd strongly recommend to use that for your approach shots, as of course it's much easier to line up to the hole or offset as needed. But with other wood clubs, you're just going to have to do what you can with the ball guide that you've got available. Centering the ball, hitting perfect. Like I said, this does offer a good chance at the albatross, and so does the central route. To be honest, you've got to weigh up which one is right for you. Nice speed, just missing to the left hand side. Two options on this par 3, both are going to be playing with a lot of elevation as this is massively downhill. The first option with the long iron bouncing on this fairway pad, 3.5 topspin and 3 bars left spin. We're aiming deliberately to the right of the pin by several green squares here because of firstly the wind angle but also the slope of the ground. Maximum distance 50% elevation. Like I said, it does play very much downhill, so max plus 50. Zoom in as best you can. You can't really zoom in that much here, so try and adjust accurately, and then it's time to take our shot. This is a very difficult par 3 to drop, really primarily for true rookies. You just want to get on the green safely. Don't come in too hot because there is a slope at the top right of the green there which might well carry you into the rough, but there is a tap in for the birdie. Now we're going to look at the wood club option here, which you will need the Guardian for, and you can actually drop down to a navigator here because we don't need too much side spin. So we're playing with a load of back spin. In fact, I'm playing with no side spin at all because the wind angle is going to push me into the pin. It's slightly trickier to find a consistent landing spot here, so try and find somewhere decent, but with enough backspin you're not going to risk the rough at all around the green. You're just going to hold very nicely because the pace of the ball will be killed off nicely with all of that backspin. Again, the same adjustment, maximum distance, 50% elevation, as you can see from that camera view there, a big downhill drop to deal with. That's why we're using so much wind adjustment. Perfect ball, and we're going to bounce on the fairway by the green, and it holds very nicely and almost dropping it for the hole-in-one, just missing to the right-hand side on this tough par 3. If you're enjoying the free content and want to help keep it free and support the channel here, head over to patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. Loads of different membership levels, all have the same perks. You get wind charts early, you get elevation sheets, exclusive content as well, episodes of my club guide series up there as well. So plenty to help you out as membership perks if you want to help support the channel. Good opportunity for an eagle here. We're going to play on the left hand side and we're going to go with a quasar. We don't need a high power ball here and we don't need much top spin. I'm going with 2 bars of top spin and 2 right spin. I don't want to play with much more than that because in tailwind angle it might send the ball over the slope into the rough. So we want to keep the ball on the fairway. Aiming there with half of the red ring inside the rough on the right, and the adjustment is maximum distance without any elevation, so 0 elevation, 3/4 ball curl to the right, so we're playing with full curl. If you don't have that much curl on your driver, then I would suggest playing with a katana, as you could then use an extra bar of side spin. You can see the fairway here is heavily banked up to the left. We catch the slope and it rolls us nicely down, but like I say, if you have too much top spin there, that ball is going to gallop over the bank and into the rough. Second shot, we're going to have a nice straight tailwind approach here with the thorn, and I'm going to play this one with no spin. I'm finding max distance, I'm finding mid distance, and I'm working out I'm going to be approximately mid distance of club here. So I'm going to play this one mid numbers, 0 elevation. Important, of course, with low level clubs to leave the ball guide short. So look at the second and third bounce. You can count the green squares before the flag to replicate, because we haven't got a full ball guide to deal with. Medium distance without any elevation here, and we're going to center the ball. Very important to do that. Get a nicely centered ball and hitting perfect, and we've got a nice flat green to bounce on, and actually we roll in straight at the pin for the eagle. Here we're going to play with the wood club and backspin. That is the key. If you don't have enough backspin on, you might catch an unlucky slope here. So we're going with 2.5 backspin and a little bit of left spin. I'm aiming with the bullseye just left of centre of the narrow fairway, and we're going to aim just to the left edge of the cup because the wind is going to push me slightly to the right. If you had a look at that wind angle when we were looking from the tee, had a slight bit of left to right. So we've got to compensate for any crosswind on this hole. Medium distance, 20% elevation. That's the adjustment I would use in all wind angles on this hole. Very important to hit perfect. The centre of the green is slightly wider and flatter now, so a minor great left or right should stay on the green, providing you've got enough backspin on, and you can see there it grabs nicely and we're dropping it for the hole in one, but it is a tough and hazardous par 3. Finally, we're going to need the extra mile and the big dog and a power 2 or 3 ball. I favour the katana or a kingmaker because we're going to need right spin on the drive. 4.5 top spin, 3 bars of side spin to the right, and we're aiming with the yellow ring all on the fairway there, the top of it touching the rough to give myself room, and we're adjusting maximum distance without any elevation, so max plus 0. Don't overdo the curl here because you don't want to get the second bounce clipping the rough or staying in the rough. So I go with just before half a ball of curl to the right. You might need to tweak the aim and of course the curl amount in different wind angles. But you can see it clears it very nicely, and the topspin takes us along this fairway, drive distance of around 335 yards. You're going to need the big dog, or maybe the horizon. If you don't have the big dog, we need topspin. Going with 6 topspin and 3 right spin, and we're aiming with all of the yellow ring on the fairway. We've got the right edge of it touching the rough. We've got to play with curl though here, even with a side spin 3 ball. Maximum distance, no elevation. Really, you just want to get near to the green for an easy wedge or on the green for a putt here. We're not looking for any heroics to drop the albatross. You can see I'm using just over 1 ball of curl here. So make sure you choose your wood club with distance, topspin and curl in consideration of what you need. Rolling onto the green very nicely, and we've got a simple putt to secure our eagle on this final and tough par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.